New report is out that says Americans are buying increasingly older cars with less technology. Dumb cars is what they're called.
Dumb cars.
Dumb cars.
Is it a price thing?
Yes, a little bit. Technology like onboard computers, cameras, sensors, LED lights are the key reason. They are less expensive and less expensive to insure. And so people are going, it is a price thing, I would say. Although I've got a dumb car.
You're way ahead of the curve.
I think I told you, my wife has a smarter vehicle than mine. And the other day I was driving it and it started correcting me. And I didn't like that feeling. That's the first time I'd ever felt that.
I don't like that feeling.
It sucks, doesn't it?
I don't care for that.
I have this weird feature on my car where I stop and the engine turns off.
I've heard of
I
that.
have to press a button so it doesn't happen. So every time, the first thing I do when I start my car up is hit that button. Because if I forget and I'm like on a hill and I stop the car, engine will shut off. And it's the weirdest thing, and it's a stupid feature.
Yeah.
But they tell me it saves gas. I never use it, though.
It's supposedly for emissions and gas.
Yeah, that's
mostly emissions.
That's California BS.
But I don't care about the
Europe,
environment
too.
anyway. So.
Every car in Europe has that.
He doesn't care about the environment. He says.
Well, that's on the record.
Okay. But they say it now. They're talking about a Camry, Toyota Camry, America's best-selling car. The number of parts in, for instance, a bumper has gone from 18 to 43 since they redesigned it 4 years ago. And the reason is it has all these sensors in it now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's way more expensive if you ding something and have to repair it. Of course, you got to repair the sensor and all that kind of stuff.
You know, I'm going to be, I hate to be the outlier on this, but, you know, I'm pro-tech, as you know. I am for the self-driving car. I will champion it. I'll shout it from the rooftops.
Yes.
If I was eligible to run for president, I'm not born in the United States.
Born in France.
This would have been my plank. You guys bitching about the cars self-correcting, it's because you're drifting.
I don't.
That's what it does. It's lane assist. You're not in your lane. You're on your phone.
But all I say, I'm not on my phone.
You're eating.
I'm eating in on my
You're
phone.
doing both. You're doing something.
I'm doing something, but I'm not on my phone. All right. I will admit to doing something, but I am
What is it?
not on my phone. Possibly eating. Sometimes I'm looking around.
You don't have to take your eyes off the
You're not an observant person.
Sometimes I'm talking to somebody.
You're a control freak, and this what's going to. That's why American pedestrians are dying in record numbers. Part of the problem.
And?
Look, if you want to thin the herd, go ahead.
Here's what I didn't say it was even a bad thing. I just said I didn't like the way it felt. I was like, oh, what's going on here? So different to me.
It makes me want to have a wreck. What's
Well,
this? Overcorrect.
But
We're doomed.
You know, but I told you. Now, the other thing it did. Now, okay, I might have been drifting because it did bring me back.
It wobbles when it's out of its lane.
It did. It did.
Steering wheel.
It did. But the other thing that it did was a guy cut in front of me. That he was just going, now he made the wrong move. He was coming in front of me and then was going into a turn lane to turn left. So he was to the right of me, then all of a sudden in front of me, and then to my left.
He made a double lane shift.
He made a double lane shift, but I never would have had to slow down. I mean, I saw it well ahead of time. And even though it was a little bit of a risky move, it wasn't horrible. But as soon as my wife's car saw that, it stopped. I mean, it was.
Did it say the word brake in front of you?
Yeah, and it was braking, and I said, "What's this?" Yeah, I said to my daughter who was in the car, "I was like, what's going on here?" I couldn't. It was such a weird thing because the only thing I would have done there maybe is lift my foot off the gas pedal, if that, because we were going fairly slowly, but it braked me down. And I thought, I don't know about this.
And God help you, nobody's behind you too close.
There's something new
Those
to me.
brakes went on by themselves.
That's why everyone needs these cars.
I think I'm with you long term, Chris Demm, but I don't think these cars are there yet. I don't think the technology's quite there yet.
Have you seen these guys going ATVing in their pickup trucks, not even touching the wheel?
Is that right?
I see it, but
You don't even need to touch the wheel anymore.
they don't show you the bad stuff, just the patty cake stuff.
Yeah, the patty cake guys. I don't care for that.
They play patty cake when they're.
Yeah, because they're not driving.
On the truck commercials?
I never pay attention to that.
Oh, you really don't?
I don't.
Ron,
really
that's
don't.
on every football game.
Every single game.
Is that right? Well, Chris Tibb and I were just watching a TV commercial today for a vehicle, and he said, "This is a gay pickup." And I said, "What?"
Not the vehicle.
No.
The scene is a gay pickup.
This guy, yeah, it's not a gay pickup. It's a guy who's driving a straight pickup.
Is there any other kind?
Man, pickup.
You may have seen. Well, you haven't. Maybe you have. Maybe you have, BB Shea. But it's about the guy who's at the dog park with a dog named Bruno. Bruno jumps the fence, and the guy goes, "Bruno, Bruno." And so he's standing there in his natty little blue blazer, while another guy in a gray jacket goes, "Lost pup, watch this." And he takes off after him in his Mazda and brings him back. And then this at the end, it's just guys, "Brought your dog back. Thanks, Steve."
It's two It's two guys.
Clearly the beginning of a gay man's.
Chris Demm says, "This is a gay man's." And I said, "I thought it was a Mazda." No, not the car. It's
the scene.
It's setting up a little date here. They could actually continue that if they wanted to.
Absolutely
They could show
could.
the two of them driving their dogs
With multiple
around.
dogs
Yeah,
in a
with
bigger
more
car.
dogs. Oh, we need a new Mazda SUV.
For Bruno and his buddy.
Yeah, because now they've started a gay man.
It started with the Bruno.
Third series, they go to a musical.
Yeah, I wasn't that observant, and they could do that. They could keep that going. You're right.
Sure.
Bryce, you're talking about the self-driving cars. Now, the story is that people are buying dumber cars because they're cheaper and cheaper to insure, and people are overwhelmed by technology. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I had my truck I hadn't had it long, and it has a crash avoidance feature, and I was driving down in Georgia in an extremely heavy rain, and my truck started braking on me, like slamming on brakes because it thought I was going to hit something, but there was nothing in front of me. It was just a heavy rain. And then I was trying to figure out how to turn the feature off while trying to drive in extremely heavy rain and not wreck. So, I mean, it's a good feature, but there's a lot of complications and things that can come from it that could also cause accidents from that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you ever have one of those things where like your car beeps, when it's coming close to another car, or close to the end of a wall or something. Go through a car wash with one of those.
Oh God. Yeah.
When all the brush.
Oh, bet. Yeah.
You don't. This will never apply to you.
Well, first of all, I don't
it's
wash
a place
the car.
where you take a dirty car and it comes out clean.
All
Kelly.
right. Okay. Yes.
The lights and bells going off
All
the
the
time.
lights and bells like stop. It's just the brushes
There's all
in
this
the
S
water.
coming at it.
bet.
There's
Well,
water
sure.
and brushes and flaps.
So let me ask you this. Is there a way with a really smart car, or maybe in the future, could you just take a button and say, like it says, car wash, and therefore it turns everything off?
Yes, you can override it.
Yeah.
You can temporarily override stuff, but like the previous caller was saying, if you're in a heavy rainstorm, you may not know where that feature is to turn off crash avoidance.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
gotta learn it.
Probably you want that on. But the car doesn't know that that's not a Mazda in front of you. It's just a wall of
Big
water.
Rainstorm.
I mean, buying a car now is like buying a computer. You got to read about it.
That's the whole thing
before you drive it.
That's the whole thing of the whole gist of this of the article. And the last thing in the line of the article is the cost of repairing a newer electric vehicle is 49% higher and takes 40% longer to fix than an older
all electric.
Yeah, this is an all electric
Okay.
they're talking about now. And we've talked about electric cars for a while now. I just saw it. Now, I skimmed it. I just saw a headline yesterday that said one car manufacturer, I think it was GM, went all in on electric vehicles, and more people prefer hybrids to electrics, at least as of now.
Because where are you going to charge them?
Well, we've talked about that.
That's the biggest issue.
Of course. Where's the charging?
And I saw this, just a headline, so I skimmed it too, is that electric cars, and I think they singled out Teslas, chew up tires way more
Oh, really?
than your standard gas engine.
Why do you think that is? Yeah.
That I don't know.
It doesn't
Weight.
seem- Oh,
Could
'cause
be the weight. Yeah, that's probably it.
the
batteries.
car is heavier. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. There's a story in a Demm report coming up about those Tesla batteries, by the way.
Oh, yes.
We've heard of those causing fires before, and now it's happening again. Now, in California,
But not like you think.
not in the way you'd ever expect.
Oh, in a good way?
I can't say
Not
it's a good way, but it is a fire. It's not necessarily a car fire. Now there's a tease for you. There's a lawmaker in California, and now I'm for this, but I know I'll be the outlier on this. And he wants some technology added to vehicles, and we haven't talked about this in a long, long time. But he's trying to bring it to the floor of the California legislature. He wants every single vehicle manufactured now to have a governor on the engine that allows it only to go 10 miles per hour above the speed limit, which would be 75 or maybe 80 miles per hour.
It will require cars and trucks that are manufactured or sold in California to contain what we call speed governors or speed limiters that physically prevent the vehicle from traveling more than 10 miles an hour above the speed limit. It'll still be illegal to go above the speed limit, of course. It will be physically impossible to make the car go more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Now, boo, you might, but let's give him his. That's Senator Scott Wiener.
Yeah.
He is.
Doesn't have to tell me.
He
The
represents.
Sacramento Wieners?
He's the San Francisco Wieners. He represents San Francisco.
Well, that's
That's their minor
questionable.
league team.
And he announced this last week, and it's gotten, as you can imagine, a lot of pushback. But I'm for Senator Wiener because I believe high speed does cause crashes, and I don't see any reason anyone would need to go more than 10 miles per hour above the speed limit. It'd save gas. It will save you'll save lives. I've always been for this. And there is an override button if you're taking your wife to the hospital and she's pregnant and she's giving birth.
It'd be on all the time.
But if it is, you have no excuse. Then you're going to get a ticket. I mean, if you turn on your override feature and you're going 15 miles an hour
Is
over,
the button a woman's belly?
yes, it is. Yes,
You have to deflate it with your finger.
sticks right out of the steering wheel.
How am I supposed to make up for all that time if I can't speed from that L.A. traffic I've been sitting in for an hour and a half?
Poke the navel, and that's it. I've always been for this, but now it would make the car more expensive, I'm sure, because they'd have to put this governor.
You'd hate it.
Plus, it would have to know what every speed limit is in every zone.
Well, yeah.
That's a
Correct.
little a little easier to do. With
Is the
computers.
technology there? That's what my thought was.
Not 100%.
Can the technology be there? So if you're driving at a 35, it can't go over 45.
Yeah.
Some cars know what the speed limits are, but not all.
No, but Waze does.
Well,
If
and
you
you-
turn on Waze, it gives you
You can
the speed
install
limit.
Waze in every car?
No, but I'm sure there's a market there for it. There's
well,
it's got
I think they have it. I bet every car has some sort of GPS, right?
yeah,
I mean, new cars,
Yeah, and when-
so they probably know it.
probably so. Waze has it where it's got your speed, how fast you're going,
And how fast you're,
and what the speed limit
how much
is.
you're exceeding it by?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean-
Once you go over, it turns red and
Right.
it says you're going 85 and a 60.
And so does I think the Apple phone
Probably so,
has it too. So I think every new car probably at least
without a doubt.
could have that.
But you're Johnny Leadfoot on the highway, Kelly. I can't keep up with you.
Kelly got more tickets than anyone in this room.
By a mile.
That's because I'm such a dichotomy. I'm so complex.
You're the last person that should want this wiener bill.
I'm so complex. They call it the
Are you
wiener
pro
bill.
wiener?
Yes. Yes, I am.